Hi, welcome to this week's STEM Challenge. We're going to be talking about periscopes. When I think about a periscope, I often think about submarines. When you see them under the water with this periscope floating above the surface of the ocean. You can actually make periscopes out of different kinds of materials just for fun, and you can use them in water or just around your yard when you're playing strategy games with friends and family. This is going to be a longer episode because I found some really good resources that I'd like to share with you. First one is a short video about how the periscopes actually work, introducing the science behind it. And then I'd like to show you another public library made. When I was looking to show you how to do one with pool noodles, I discovered that somebody did one about a month and a half ago. So we're actually going to use theirs because they look like a total expert at it and show you step by step what to do. And then after that, I found another one that shows you how to use a template provided on the internet so you don't have to do all the measurements yourself. And it's made out of cardboard and walks you through step by step how to do that. And then finally, I'm going to show you how to use our database Freading at the Red Bank Library to find other DIY and how-to books in case you want to extend your STEM learning beyond our sessions this summer. Okay, here we go.
Hi, Odie. Odie, where are you? Oh, there you are. Did you make a periscope? Wow, Odie, that's amazing. We weren't able to see you. Were you able to see us? How is that possible? Let's find out. Periscopes are used to see objects that are not on the same level as the observer. Mirrors inside the periscope bounce the light towards the observer. In order for the periscope to work, the mirrors must be facing each other and must be at a 45-degree angle. Light enters the periscope and hits the top mirror. In our experiment, the light hits the mirror at a 45-degree angle. The light then bounces off the mirror at the same 45-degree angle, basically creating a mirror image of itself. As the light moves down the periscope, it hits the second mirror, again at a 45-degree angle. The light bounces off the second mirror at the exact same angle. And this is how we are able to see images using a periscope. Can you show us how you made your periscope? First, you cut some cardboard to make a box. Odie, can you leave a link to the pattern in the description below? We also need 2 small mirrors. Now let's glue the cardboard together to make the box. Slide the mirrors into the slots. Now all we need to do is test it out. Wow, Odie, you did it! We get it.
All right. So what we're going to do is watch a video from a librarian at another public library show you how, instead of using a cardboard box or like poster board, something's a little thicker than regular paper, and maybe a cardboard box might be a little too thick unless you have some help from a grown-up, or you use an X-Acto knife to actually help you cut along the edges and scour that. So what we're going to do is watch the video for the pool noodle periscope right about now. Sharing the screen again, finding our link that we need. I just have to open Chrome back up because I had just closed it off. And I have a link here called Science Stuff. And here it is, letting off steam, 8 pool noodle periscopes is going to show you a different one to do. We're going to watch that after we watch the librarian do the one that we're going to show you. So let me go ahead and find that again. I'm sorry, I first did this on a different computer, and then I realized I couldn't record on that computer, so I had to switch it over to my other laptop. Pool noodle periscopes. Let's see if it comes up. There are so many different ones when you search for anything on the internet. Here's another one that a library did. Wow, I didn't know it was so popular. And this one was only done 4 weeks ago too. Didn't have too many views, but if you want to view that one, it's Ariel's pool noodle periscope. It's interesting that one's purple because the one we're going to be looking for is purple too. And this is the one I wanted to show you by Tualatin City Library. Letting off steam, 8 pool noodle periscopes. Oh, well, right. That was actually in my link. I just didn't realize that's what it was called. So I'm glad we stopped here to see that there's another one too. And this one's a little longer, and one looks like it uses, no, they both use duct tape to make their pool noodle periscopes. And my problem why I didn't show you in person this week is because I had difficulty finding these little mirrors. But it does say if there's a Joann's nearby you, and there is one in Shrewsbury Plaza actually, you can buy pack of these 4 little round mirrors for only about $1, so it's not a big expenditure. And pool noodles you can usually find at Target, Walmart, or your local dollar store. Off we go.
I'm practicing for the big battle we're going to have outside. Problem is, I'm having problems seeing around the corners. I have the perfect project for that. Let's make pool noodle periscopes. Say that 3 times fast. Alright, let's get started. Okay, to do this project, you'll need a pool noodle. I got this for $1 from the dollar store. We're going to have to cut about a foot off of it because unfortunately pool noodles aren't.
Oh, sorry, I just want to make that a little bit louder for us because I thought some of our recording would be a little hard to hear.
Not notoriously straight, so we need to cut off a little bit of a length so that we can get a more accurate view up the length of the hole. We'll need tape. I got this pretty stuff also from the dollar store for $1. And then we're going to need a pen. Some mirrors. These are 2-inch mirrors I got from Joann's. They were 4 for 99 cents. And then a pair of scissors, a ruler, and supposedly a protractor, but not many people except geeks like me have one of these at home, so we're going to do something a little different. What we need is a 45-degree angle to cut with, so we're just going to take a piece of paper and create our own 45-degree angle. Essentially, you're just making a large triangle, and then we're going to cut it, and therefore we'll have a very easy 45-degree angle to follow. Alright, now what we're going to do, we're going to measure about 4 inches up from the bottom, and we're going to make a mark. This is where we're going to start our cut. Excuse me, it's a little windy out here, so you'll see things blowing around occasionally. And once we have that mark, then what we're going to do is we're going to cut up at an angle this will cause us to have two pieces that will fit together at a 90-degree angle. So we take this 45-degree angle that we created, put the end on the spot, making sure that the straight edge is as fine to the bottom as you can. And then we're just going to draw a line, and then we're going to then cut to make our two pieces. It's much easier than using a protractor, believe me. Once you have the line drawn, then you can just take a pair of scissors. You can use a knife, but honestly, scissors works just fine. And there you have it. You have a longer piece, and then you have the other piece that will fit together. We're going to go ahead and do the other end at the same time, though, because otherwise it can get kind of confusing, and you want the angles to go the same way. So we're going to do the 4 inches again, and then I looked for the middle. And then I realized that we don't want it from the middle. We want the middle of our cut to be there. So you adjust it over. You're trying to get it as about the same space as the other cut. You're going the same direction. Go ahead and cut off the end for that, and we'll save that for our next step. All right, now that we have both pieces cut, we are going to look and see if we got a 90-degree angle. As you can see, this one's a little short of a 90-degree angle, so we're probably going to have to trim it just a little bit. This can be a little bit by eyeball. It does have to be pretty exact in terms of the angle, but you can kind of fiddle around with it once you've got it to the point where you're taping it to determine whether the mirror actually is at the right angle. So now we're actually going to make the marks to cut the slits that we will fit our mirrors into. So I kind of dissect the angle between the two of them. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to take a ruler and try to get it, approximately right across. It's a little bit of an eyeball again. And these will determine where our 45-degree angles again, because we want our mirrors to be 45 degrees to each of these angles. So we're going to pick up our paper, and we're going to put it down, and we're going to align it again as much as we can and draw a 45-degree angle up towards the tip. Do that again on the other side. If you do this correctly, they'll actually meet, and they will surround the tip of the piece. Now you're going to cut a slit that's about an inch into each of those lines. Because our mirrors are 2 inches, we want to do an inch on this side and then an inch on that side. And there's our slit that we're going to fit it into. Just to show you, here's how the mirror fits in. This fits in kind of snugly. You can see that it's angled, so you can see down the thing and then within. And then we're just going to do the same thing to the smaller piece, where we're going to draw a 45-degree angle. Again, they will meet if you do it properly around the tip. Cut our slits, and then we're going to fit those two pieces together, sliding the other half of the mirror into the other half. This can be a bit fidgety, but have a little patience and just kind of push around a little bit, and there you go. Now the next part of this will be to stabilize it with tape. So that's what we're going to do. This takes a little while, so let's sped it up. When you're doing this, after you do the first two sides, you might want to look into it and do that angle. You want to look into it and make sure that you can see. I think I did that here in a little bit. Yep, right there. Once that's it, then it's really just covering in tape for decoration purposes. Once you have the joint stabilized, then you just cover it. And basically, you're just going to do the same thing on the other end. And this is about what it will look like when you're finished. But you know me, I can't do anything simple, so here we go. Here's my camouflage periscope. The battle has begun. You should find the best spots.
Terrific. I hope you got some ideas how to make your own pool noodle periscope. And let's take a look at if you had some pool noodles left over and you want to make something other than a periscope, what ideas you might come up with. 10 crafty ways to use a pool noodle. And this one I'm just going to kind of read to you. You can take a note of the web address, the URL up here in the address bar if you want to kind of follow along on your own home computer rather than having to pause it on our video. There are a lot of advertisements on the site, so maybe you want to be sure to do this with mom or dad. So let me just kind of scroll past that and show you some pictures and read you some descriptions. So here we go. It is by Red Tricycle. 11 creative ways to use your pool noodle. So your pool noodle is your trusty summer sidekick, but it has far more uses than taking a dip in the pool, river, lake, or ocean. Did you know it also makes a great hobby horse or a bubble blower? We rounded up some uber fun ways you can transform this dollar store classic into your tots or your older kids' favorite new toy. Keep reading to get your noodle craft on. So let me exit out of this. Like I said, there are a lot of advertisements, but it was a super cool site, so I need to show it to you anyway. First one are these funky little characters. You can get an idea. This reminds me of something that our Miss Jamie, our librarian, will create in her Power Play program. That'll be coming back shortly as well. So they're called pool noodle monsters. And you can unleash your creativity and artistic ability to make them. This one is an abacus. Wow. So STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. And abacus certainly is an old-fashioned way of learning how to do math problems. So this is very cool. It looks like they tied to some trees and have some rope and a bunch of different pool noodles to represent the different numbers on the abacus. So what this does and what you would need to do is definitely go to the site and then click on these links because it tells us a little bit about the project and then gives us a link. I'll just click on this one to go to it. And it tells you the instructions for doing the entire project on that next link. So you have to go a couple spots in, a couple clicks in until you get to the actual thing. It's definitely worth checking out. Okay, let's take a look at some others. This one, alphabet knockdown. So if you're younger and want to do practice, you can go ahead and do that by cutting the pool noodles in half and making little C-shaped mountains to stick. It looks like they stuck little ice cream scoops in. You could use popsicle sticks and other things like that to create it too. Oh, structure. Some of you might have tried this with marshmallows and spaghetti or pipe cleaners and different things, but you can slice the pool noodle up and make all sorts of fancy structures and towers with it too. All right. Up next, this one was my personal favorite. It is a launch for pom-poms. And definitely if you look over where that red, let me see, whoops, sorry, my bad. Where that red end is actually, oh no, I'm not having any luck there. I will stop moving my mouse. Is actually a balloon that you use to be the force that pushes the pom-poms and launches them out of the pool noodle. So you can hop over there and find out how to do that one. This one is just a fancy blowing bubble wand. We did a bubble STEM project at the Red Bank Library the other week. So if you're looking for a new and creative way to make a wand, you can now try a pool noodle. Oh, this is super fun. We did this at my previous library. We had goldfish races. And actually, instead of using pool noodles, which would have worked probably, we need something that could hold a little more water so the goldfish could swim without having to worry about gulping air and water. We used PVC pipe cut in half to be the ramp for our race. And here they're using pool noodle for the same purpose. maybe little flags as they're going down there. Make a marble run here for your pool noodle. Notice on this one, they use those special ties, those plastic ties that you can find in hardware stores to affix this to a board. Now, I would have trouble finding a board that has holes on it, but you can use a piece of cardboard and use a special hole punch or just even a sharp screwdriver with mom and dad's approval to accomplish the same kind of thing here, where they're making their water wall. Tons of fun in the summer. Ah, indoor basketball with a beach ball. So fun. That is awesome. A hobby horse to ride on. A whole sprinkler system with lots of little holes poked through. As you put the hose through, the water shoots out. Lots of ideas for that way. So let me go ahead and put a stop to this, and then I'm going to show you how to find more ideas for creative fun on our Red Bank Library website. Let me exit out of this too. Sorry about that. That was a previous recording. And I will be back in a minute to show you redbanklibrary.org and where to find Freading. I just have to go grab my library card because you will need your library card number to access the site. Welcome back. I'm going to see if I can edit some of this video to make it run smoother. In the meantime, let's share the screen and show you one more time how to find some nonfiction ebooks on our library website through a resource called Freading. Here we go. Going back to our library page, redbanklibrary.org. Let me take you back to the beginning so you can see what it looks like. Here we go. A lot of colors, a lot of things going on. If you look down below, you can see some events that are upcoming in our library, so be sure to check those out as well. Even though our physical library is closed right now, you can use our online resources 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. To find them, you go over to the tab that says Resources and click on the 24-hour library. There are lots of great products that will let you download audiobooks, ebooks, music, movies, magazines, and more. eLibrary New Jersey is super popular and shared across the state. Hoopla has titles that are always available on their resource. But for nonfiction, there's nothing better than Freading. And that's this red and white one right down here. And what I'm going to show you, and the keyword to search, we're going to pick a topic. And this week we're talking about periscopes. So I'm just going to click the word periscopes. Click here. Up come a bunch of different books about periscopes. Most are adult fiction or things about historical wars and stuff where submarines were used with periscopes. The one I really want to point out to you is this one that says, build your own periscope, flashlight, and more. This whole series of books by Capstone Press, written for kids, is available on Freading. So it says, make a periscope with some empty milk cartons. Other things you can do is build a pet feeder from empty coffee cans. Create a flashlight with some batteries and spare wire. With just a few things found around your house, you can build all sorts of useful things. And then you would just log on to your account to download. And it looks like for your account, what you would need is just your library card number and your PIN. If you don't happen to know what your PIN is, you can email the library or leave us a message on the answer machine, and one of our staff members will get back to you and give you a temporary PIN so you can use this resource. I hope you find that useful. Check out all the other terrific books and titles available on Freading, Hoopla, and eLibrary New Jersey. And have fun exploring. Take care. Bye-bye.